Back now. Now, this part of the series as pka Sari is 65 years old, which makes her the longest alive ruler in our dynasty's history, which I don't know if that's true. Let me see. History of this dynasty lies in members of the past. Where would I... Oh, here it is, dynasty tree. That's like we know that the current is 65, he was 58, here's Asok. Sarakida was 56, but now we go for the ones before our time. Bimbasara was 67, okay, that one's the oldest, but it's likely that I will live longer than him, based on my current health. Serarte, 63. Chakrava was 64. Tompir was 59, and the founder, Sangha, was 63. So yeah, it's likely I'll be living longer than most. So, there you have it. Now, what we're here for, because on the previous episode, we've been building temples, and another one is about to be finished, which I might as well pass that time a bit. And so there you go. Another temple finish means huge piety gain, and also more renown. So we're not too far from getting this next one, which I will go for assimilation of foreign art, which will increase bonuses from taking decisions to patronize the Mogul Cave, which I'm sure my successor will be more than happy to take that, and this would definitely help us big time in the long run. And I would like to get this last part of the Silk Road Dynasty Legacies, which just pretty much shows you that I know that the one thing I never mentioned in this series entirely was, do you have any major goals in mind for that Tokharian series? Well, I would say by technicality, uniting all the provinces that has that culture in those lands traditionally as it was long ago. We accomplished that. Getting these two here, I would consider it as the second major goal, just to make it look like Silk Road as a whole is our dynasty legacy. And subsequently, I would also say that oh yeah, look, I'm actually content with what we do around here inside of Vijaya. Yes, we may be ruled by the Saka, who have recently created a hybrid culture, the Kushini Havamna. Kushini Havamna Tokharian Saka. Which I'm, again, happy with that. I have no intentions of taking over this throne to be the ruler of all of the town and basin. I have no intentions of doing that. But we've recently caused this woman who likes me very much, daft diplomacy, terrified of me, to marry my son. Originally I was going to hold him off on marriage until I pass away, then he becomes the new ruler, but we decided to forego that and just say marry to this landed ruler over there, the Shabanok over there. And then with that, that we know that Kashgar will spread our dynasty to there. In fact, that is the most developed territory. Is that so? Hang on. Kashgar. Yes, Kashgar is the most developed area of all the provinces there. And why is that? Because Silk Road Trading Post and a few other factors. Khanats. New silver coins minted. I mean, this is some time ago. And also due to, that's part of their tradition of those people there, is the whole bureaucratic thing with the development growth. So there's your reason why. That's why Baruka is getting its share of its development growth. Whereas those territories that we own, not so much, except for the northern ones. but I still intend to leave behind a great legacy. Not just temple building, in which we plan on building our next temple here in Bugud, and another one up there. So I need 680 gold, which will be 340 on this one and 340 on the other. So let's just make some money. This also means we're not going to do much in this episode again. But she must live long enough for two things. She must build 2 more temples, and then we'll build our first city in Croran to be built in Tikanik there, because of the drylands terrain. And maybe I'll also build one over in the plains over there of Lapuapa as part of Miran. Just only building it in areas where the terrain is suitable for such things. I would even build a city there. This is all mainly desert in this whole area. Kuches already has a city, and so does Baruka. And now we have embraced our new tradition that I spent my hard-earned prestige on. Warriors of the Dry. As a reminder, this culture has mastered the art of fighting in very dry climates. The Desert Warrior Commander trait is more common. The Sun Commander traits and personality traits have extra dry terrain bonuses, and gain a decision to recruit dry terrain commanders. All of our holdings will have an increased supply limit in desert and drylands, as well as the levy size. To the sensible Sari, I've heard good things about you, and I'm interested in starting a written conversation. I hope that this letter you finds you willing, but I'm waiting your swift reply. Well, start exchanging letters with Vimala Prabha. Vimala Prabha. There you go. I get that name. Thank you for your swift response. I'm looking forward to our current response. Please, I implore of you, pick the first subject for us to discuss. Since you're interested in stewardship, please tell me about tax levels. I've heard rumors this topic is close to our heart. So wherever I go, my tash, stop with the nase. Be sure to follow. The look in his eyes, his words, says I know exactly what he's after. He's a damn fool. He's lustful and impatient, and that's all we know about him. How sweet, but no. No thank you. I'm too old for that. You have greatly misjudged me. You think sycophantry will get you anywhere. Now I see your words are empty as your skull. And to think, I used to value your friendship. Oops. I thought you would be into that stuff. Either that or she's just paranoid. At least I learned something. Slight increase on that. So we'll get inspiring roll next. And it's possible that I may have to reset the perks just to get those 2 in, so I can unlock these 2 down there and commission an epic, because I want to leave behind a legacy before I pass away, whenever my time comes, whenever my health gets poorer, which is not anytime soon right now. And plus, still want to build 2 more temples. If you wish, but not now. Just please be patient. Just just go a little faster since there isn't going to be a lot of nothing. Writing the right way. For several months now, I've studied various shorthand techniques of a local scribe who's said to be the master of this art. I've learned various ways to abbreviate my words, or certain ways to write more words more quickly. My writing is right. So, I've gained a decent advanced shorthand techniques. So, you were learning, but now decent. So this character knows some advanced techniques of writing shorthand. They can write it more efficiently than they used to. Stewardship and intrigue a bit up, and a little more of a monthly lifestyle experience. Haven't impregnated your... That's alright, take your time. Can't wait to spread the dynasty of the Kashgar. Now, inspiring rule. I do not have any powerful members on the council because they aren't that skilled. Just another 2 years. Thanks to the inspiration from the Silk Road and decent advanced shorthand techniques, now it's going to take much less time to, and me being gregarious. Now imagine my genius son with his diplomacy education. He will get to do all that in no time. Still fine. At 67. One more month and then we'll spend it here. Built. See you in 3 years. It'll be in Dodolokota is where we'll build our next. Says temples complete here. A kind word. My paths happen to cross with Kamdana Haskatata. To my surprise, it seems though it does not have a great impression on my friend, Versura. Perhaps take this opportunity to change his mind. Let me tell you a story about him. Much effort for little gain. I try to paint him in the best possible light, but Kamdana Haskatata just glanced over whenever I mention his name. I suspect he was not very impressed. But Shura is so great. Maybe you just don't get him. This temple's finished. You know, each temple we build, that means taxes for us. And it also makes him money as well. No, save it for one temple, okay? Just save it for the last temple. I know y'all having trouble developing, but do not worry. Thanks to the centralization here. Still feeling fine. Give it another year. 982 will be the year that I will write an epic. Again, may have to reset the perks. Unless I'm still feeling fine, but I'll do that whenever my health is poor. That's when I will do that. The missing village. Improved taxation. Poring over tax records, I'm brought back to the affair of the missing village in Nautical. Matters are much improved since then, and the revenue from it is even higher. Wonderful. Every little bit helps. That, I am happy with that. One more month, and then this Kuchi is converted back to Buddhism. One more free, and that's up in Tuksun. It'll take you 8 years, possibly more. You're still fine. Don't get too worked up about things you don't have any control over regarding your health and destiny. But what I know is that I am the longest lived ruler of my dynasty's history. There we go. As soon as I just began the construction, the monks will. An elderly monk living in a nearby monastery recently passed away. He had some valuable possessions, but his will was unclear, so his relatives are fighting over the possessions. This is a common situation in many of the Buddhist monasteries here. However, as this monk is from a renowned clan, I feel like I should intervene to restore order, given his relatives are powerful themselves. There could be a great disturbance in the community if they fight. Head of the Faith Piety and Renown priesthood. Your income is fine, so I'll just say I shouldn't intervene. This is a private matter. "69 years old, still feeling fine." "982, I was way off on my estimation." "Friend, you learned my language finally. Impressive." Now all you have to do is live another 2 years, and then you will get to commission that epic. Oh, you finally impregnated her. She's been 4 months pregnant. Okay. So that means she ain't gonna get that, as far as inheritance is concerned. Happy with that. Am I crazy, or does it keep increasing the cost each time you reinforce relations with local communities? Or does it just depends on the amount of tax income you get, then increases the price, the cost? Well, guess what? You're finally going to be in the council. Just as you attended. I wonder how much of a cost is to commission an epic. But I plan on saving my money to construct a city here, just for starters. But I would like to invest in these defenses, because that gives a slight tax increase income, but more fort level and increased garrison and supply limit here each time we assemble an army here for the defense of our capital should there ever be conflict again, which is unlikely since we're a peaceable lot. Oh wow, I thought you had twins, but I'm a grandmother now, or have been. You know, you used to be a ruler. Inherited. No, he never was a ruler to begin with. So. Oh, she's not. She actually made my son personal champion of hers, which takes place at some of the duels, even though he's not that good of a fighter. He's a man of diplomacy. But he's got diplomatic expertise. Sometimes I wish he would have come back, but he can't because, again, I'm still voting for him because he's got the skills to do so, to be an excellent diplomat or family man or a august, prestigious ruler. But he's getting more prestige now since she made him a personal champion, and he gets a little bit of that salary. Angstas and Mitrokasena. So quick and robust. This one intelligent. So whenever he becomes the ruler, then he'll have to go. And also, I just noticed that he is also the heir to the Duchy of Karasha. The title doesn't exist, but that means he gets to have two of them. But doubtful that he'll get to three with Kashgar in the future. This is what we mean by spreading the dynasty around. We're just only carrying out things that would benefit us in the long run. But Kroran is still our home, because it's where our dynasty comes from, and this is where our capital will remain. Shrine is complete. Another 20 months, one more is to be built. And now, assimilation of foreign art. Increased bonuses from taking the decision to patronize a Mogul cave. And you need this much to get to diverse peoples and cultures, which will have an increased chance of positive events after taking the decision to reinforce relations with Silko communities, and as well as the decision to patronize the Mogul cave is cheaper and can be taken as long as you hold the territory in the Tarn Basin, no matter your heritage. Lexical lethargy. It's hard keeping all these languages in my head. I keep forgetting which language I'm speaking. Just the other day, I accidentally introduced myself using a confusing mixture of Shaz Turkic and Arśi-Kuči words. I did not even realize I had done so until it was pointed out to me. Perhaps I should let Shaz Turkic slip from my mind. You know what? Forget that language. It's not that useful to me anymore. $17 months to go. Maybe I don't have to reset the perks after all. build that city. This is just to help our capital province. And I'll be sure to build one more city over there because of the plains terrain there. Investment inquiry. With Yapko Gubori's diligent administration in my household's finances, there is more gold at the end of the season than expected. How should we put best use, wife? Let's save it for now. I did say one more city. We're only building all of these is just so that way my future generations that will get to inherit all these lands would benefit all of us. Communal government is the next one that we're currently exposed to. But we only want to get this last one just to get it out of the way. And since we only have a single heir, we're not that worried about it, and just go for hereditary rule once you're done. So Sari will be remembered as a great patron of building temples and as well as the building of cities, which will help the lands prosper, which had never been before seen in centuries. Again, we needed cities is not only for mayors, which would one day be on a council if they're skilled, as well as potential tashi, and also more taxation increase. Bump. While we were taking a walk in the garden outside, Jatishram slipped and bumped into me. No one was hurt, nor did anyone fall down, but it was rather an embarrassing affair, and he looks quite sheepish for his accidental disrespect towards me. Ah, don't worry, it's fine. I should have been careful too. Still feeling fine somehow. Again, I don't expect to live up to my 80s unless I were to take medicine focus, but that's not my idea. You got another child. Another grandson. Karakate. Well, I see it now. One gets Kashgar in the future. One who that will vote for who gets Quran, and another will get Karasha. It's the right deal. Now writing history. You talk about leaving behind legacies, temples that I spent my money to get them built, in as well as a few cities. And now let's commission an epic, if you got the money, that is. You need. Okay, that's fine. Huh? Shrine's complete. Social manipulation. Here we go again with this. He's a religious ravener. I will ignore him and steal his ideas. Fail to manipulate him. Pay gold for prestige and possibly renown. I like to be known as exalted among men before I pass. So my family history contains many tales of great success and honor. If any of those were composed to a single story, it would certainly reflect very well on myself. So, you may receive a family epic artifact. You are likely to get a better result if you have extra money to spend. So I guess you might as well save it up on that a bit more. Don't build another city. As much as I like to lower my stress, but not now. So save it up to at least 300. Then we'll spend it on that epic. Have it commissioned before my health starts to get poor. Pay close attention to each of these things that you cherish those possessions with. City will soon be complete. Okay. After a few years later, instead of 982, which I thought it would be the designated date that we would begin to commission epic, now my health is starting to get poor, so it's about time that I will leave my legacy behind. Not to build another city, but for this. Pay gold for prestige and possibly renown. Time to start composing. It was 140 earlier, and I noticed it said 135, so it depends on your monthly income. It does change the cost. Now, anyways, what I need is a classical tale of the grandeur of my family, a chronicle about the origins of the Croran family dynasty, and how we are destined for greatness. I only need someone who knows how to tell a story. Low chance. Unpredictable chance. High chance of an exceptional epic. I am willing to spend my fortune for this. Sila Soma, the storyteller, composes the epic. And this is the man here. He is a bhikkhu of our culture. He is generous but honest, but he's a bit sadistic. The accomplished storyteller. So I'm willing to spend all my money for this. My family epic seems to be progressing well, and some lines already sound they will be quoted for decades to come. But Silasoma has a lot of questions about the focus of the story. It would be easier to answer if he wrote it all first. Then I could tell him what I dislike about it, but he insists he needs answers now. What I want is renown, so I will say it is a family history, so be generous. I'm not that egotistical to get more prestige, because I'm humble. That city will be finished in 3 months. And over on the other side, it's 14 months. It's family epic. Honesty and perception. My son, Ajatashatru, is reading my family epic as it slowly comes together. A lot of it is not very plausible, such as the part with the hermit's guidance, he tells me. On the other hand, who says what the past was like? If you're not already doing embellishments, why not take it as far as we can? It is important that we tell a good story after all. There you go. Big jump on renown now. got your fourth child, a granddaughter. You named it after me. How kind of you. We'll be out of debt very soon. Pride of the family. My giver, Ytarimypoy, seems to be the latest person to have read excerpts from my family epic. Your great-great-grandmother was a fascinating and resourceful figure, tells me. If we let it be known that you are even as half as underhanded as she, people would think twice before acting against you. My great-great-grandmother? Do you mean... Well, I do come from that line. Yes. I don't know what that would be like. Hostile scheme resistance would be good. The blood of that snake is flowing in my veins. And that's another thing about us. We tend to be very protective. Here's our mayor of this new city. That'll pay us quite a bit of tax. But it can be improved upon. If he's got buildings like guilds, which would help the development and the taxes. Rich source material. Sila Soma is telling my Yermaka Rinmoka Malika about several exciting details he has discovered about my ancestors. Now I believe the part of the Hermit's guidance might actually be true, since it is fascinating to be sure, but it does not have the grand antidote to complete. As for this particular antidote, improves vassal opinion. It would be very important to get that, so it should be shared of all my vassals. Hostile scheme resistance, vassal opinion, that sounds like a good one for the epic that we're working on. Oh yeah, we need to start exchanging letters of her again. Swift response, yes. You are content, Craven. Maybe leading a topic that I'm knowledgeable about might mind impressing. I have some excellent war stories to share. I don't think she'll like that because, again, she's paranoid. She's kind of hard to please. Are you trying to make me feel like an idiot? Your last letter was so full of obscura, I could not follow one sentence in three. And to think, I used to value friendship. At least I learned something. Should go for that. The epic chronicle of my family is finally complete, and Silversoma has a reason to be proud. My ancestors stand at its core as a shining example of what it means to be a ruler for our time, even if it drags on a few places. And a part of the Hermit's guidance is utterly ridiculous. Still, I am proud to keep this in my family library for generations to enjoy and learn from. What a story can kill. This is a Croran annals, so I didn't gain much prestige. So I chose different options that we want more renown. So here it is, an epic chronicle of the Croran family, commissioned by pka Sari, complete with an elegant description of our reputed ancestors and their deeds. The cover is wood and has been painted to display a repeating image of astrological scenes, you know, like the Hermit's guidance. So, increased vassal opinion, and as well as hostile scheme resistance. I And this will last for a long time. I know you probably don't like that. After all the time Sam has spent in my court, and how he's well gotten to know me, it feels strange he's about to depart. I've other places to go, and other stories I need telling, he tries to explain. I also need you here. Stick around for a while. I know people really hate me blowing that whistle, but if you want a bit more general opinion, then here you go. So now I put that to use. The Himalayan culture. How about that? Again, I'm not going to spend my money to reinforce relations with Silk Road communities because I'm about to pass. And that'll be up to my son to do that. But I tell you what I should do is to, go visit Dong Huang, go on a hunt and a feast just to get rid of all the stress. $70. Okay, a hunt it is. I know I'm too old to be hunting, but I don't care. Just want this done. Dignitas. There you go, you got some diplomacy skill. It's highly doubtful that I will live another 3 years. And then, to get Life of Glory, although I could reset the perks and just say, hey, in addition to being an architect, I was also an august ruler as well. She's honored as a true ruler, worthy of the Empire's abode. I can see, that sounds... I mean, she may be humble, but still. You would think of a creature from myth, perhaps a god-disguised animal form. It was the largest boar I've ever seen. Even after the beast was wounded, the chase lasted half an hour. Lasted half an hour. Half a day! Still imposing sight lying dead before me. It shall be a trophy for my son. Speaking of my son, how's he doing over there? Hunt is drawing it in. Just want to get rid of all this stress. Far away from it. Now. Eight days left. 2, 1. Complete. Breaking horses. Eating was well underway. Drinking a little too far along when Short decided it was time for some horse riding. My stables were locked up tight, but with guidance from Remoko Dharmasome, Shora soon led a group of eager riders inside. With absolutely no control over my animals, there was swearing, laughter, and broken bones as men and women fell from horses ambling around the hall. The other creatures in the stables did not get away much easier, and one goat nearly caved in under the weight of Yapko and Funku. Stable hands saved those people from themselves. Wow. Plus, I didn't know he'd come down to the feast. That, after all, he's a friend. My guests are going home in all good moods. The feast brought us closer. We'll be able to look back and chuckle as skippers ashore and his drunken band of merrymakers for time's come. Keep me in your hearts, vassals. Now I'm an eager reveler. And keep in mind, unlike him, that is a sin in Mahayana Buddhism because of the asceticism treatment. They don't like the reveling. But we Theravadas are not. We don't view that as a sin. Whereas Vajrayana, they do not view that as a sin either. It's only the Mahayanas that they don't like the reveling. Whereas we do. As I have my reasons for it. It's had a bad omen. Well, I hope you get well soon on that. In 3 years' time, anyway. Guess I might be short of being exalted among men, but it depends. That's an idea. Or alternatively, just save up some money and build one more city that's in the drylands area, and Korla, ideally. Or just help with the development of territories by building cities out in the desert somewhere. Like, I can imagine putting a city there. That I can imagine. And also a city here, only because there's only room for 3 holdings. At those that were already taken. And you know, far into the future, yes, we do have lots of innovation. I can imagine far in the future I would build a castle there. Oh, hang on. Today, the caravan of a well-known merchant has arrived in Krogan. It is said that this trader is famed across the Silk Road for carrying all manners of trinkets in good quality from all corners of the world. The caravan will do business in our territory for a while before moving on. Perhaps I can buy a few trinkets. Why the hell not? The famous Silk Road peddlers passing through here. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, yeah, building one here, which would be ideal because not only it's open desert, but also there's a river crossing here and a river crossing there. That is a good choke point. Like if there were enemy invaders, particularly coming from this direction, if they try to make their way up here, they would have to get to this first. Well, see, I don't know about that because, you know, we would still have to cross a river to combat against the enemy, and we would get penalty for that. Unless we just have an army stationed there and just we duke it out. Like we have an army, a small army, I can imagine. But on standby, let the big army try to cross the river, and friendly reinforcements go to there, and we deal with the enemy who took the river crossing penalty. Yeah, I think what I just said is probably much better than what I originally suggested about build a castle there. No, I'm sticking with build a city up there. Although I would kind of want to build it, you know, like say here and there, but for development reasons. Because I'd rather develop, you know, here, since the areas over there are much more developed than it is here. There are the areas that I feel closer to home to. So I'd rather build a city here in Turin. That would be most ideal. Yes. To catch a bird. Raknaska has an interesting proposition for me. Lately, she has acquired a taste for sparrow meat. pka Sari. It is not true he lately had problems with a lot of sparrows in your residence, she asks. When I admit that is true, she says, you should hang up some sparrow traps around your house. We can catch them, eat a lot of sparrows, especially sparrow pie. It's so delicious. Well, looking at you, since you are gluttonous, it's bigger than me, obviously. Why the hell not? Just say, good idea. These sparrows are annoying pests. I'll spend 25 putting me in debt for at least 2 months. So, a historical context here. The house sparrow is one of the most widely distributed bird species in the world. It is strongly linked with human habitation. It is often seen as a pest, so sparrow meat has long been a source of food in many places, as it would have been killing 2 birds with 1 stone, pun intended. It would be ridding these places of these birds also provided people with a good source of protein. In some cultures, sparrow meat is traditionally believed to have aphrodisiac properties. Well, she improves my viewpoint. That increases a tiny bit of stewardship skill. So I'll take that hit. We just simply want to increase taxation of all the provinces by building cities and outlying areas. That is my idea. That man of yours. Yeah, these are my grandchildren from that side of the family. I gained a hook favor on him. Why on earth would I want to do that? If I'm still alive by the time when we get up to 340 gold again, I'm going to build a city here. So that way it'll be complete with all 3 holdings. With a castle, a city, and a temple. A giant. Big man. Also, wait a minute, what's going on over there? Oh, the Saka is allied with one of those nations. So they draw war. Never mind. Because I noticed that someone was like, wait a minute, that's against the Chinese forces. But it's related to that conflict. They're not going to come over to our neck of the woods. And 4 months, and the entire populations will be Buddhists. Even though it's only the Mahayana that still has a small population, a minority, but I'd rather have it Theravada. Even Theravada Buddhism had successfully spread to there. What say you? My nephew with yours. Guess it has to be matrilineal marriage, right? Wish I would have a hook on you. But can't be doing that now, can we? The reason why they are wearing these masks is because they're lunatics. Both of them, in fact. I know you desire alliance. Hey, tell you what. Paranoid dislikes Garius. Crud. And you know you are a homosexual, but this probably won't work because of my age, right? No, I am not attracted to women. Not her saying that, me saying that. I mean, I'm not attracted to women, but she is. Romance won't work either. Plus, I'm too old for this. And plus, I have one eye, so she finds me less attractive. Just curious. Ah, heterosexual. Okay, just wondering. And all these cities and temples I built, that's the legacy that I'll leave behind. That will lead into a brand new era of the Kuchinya culture, where they're going to be more developed, more income thanks to their vassals and the temple holders. How long is it for it to convert from Mahayana to Theravada? Less than half of what we used to by converting from Manichaeanism to Buddhism. So, for starters, we should do that. Only because, simply for the sake of it. Because of popular opinion reasons. Useless senses. Remember, next city, build here. Kushinya Avamna. That wasn't there last time. Who's your steward? Are you trying to spread that culture? In fact, what do they call the steward over there? Asaka. Are you making me promoting that culture of yours? Life of glory. Now, if I'm going to be around for the next 3 years, I will be august, which is contradictory due to me being humble. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Ever since I got Warriors of the Dry, some personality traits have extra dry terrain bonuses, and me being humble, attrition taken in desert and drylands reduced. Oh, I did not know that till now. Wow. And more so as a logistican with the attrition taken in desert and drylands. For certain commander traits. That's good to know. And even being honest, much more reduction taken in desert and drylands for the attrition. Wow. I didn't know that. Oh, I know as much as I would like to get it back up, but what if I'm the one that's promoting that culture? Almost there. To build one more city. Now, let's see. Remember, Bashkoyomol. Bashkoyomol. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's actually a reduction of that? 280? What? What gives? I don't know, there's a reduction of cost to that? Not building, holding cost. Let me see. What happened to this province that gave us this? Is it the desert? Cause a reduction because of the traditions? Let me look it up again. It doesn't say. Wait a minute. So, say if I were to build it in drylands, 280, it is reduced. Okay, now, I mean, you've built it all in plains, and it used to be 340 all the dang time. Or was there some sort of bonus I must have missed? I don't have an architect because I do not have that ability. The royal architect. No, because you gotta have a royal court for that. What? Just take what you can get. You say you want to leave behind legacy? Then here it is. Here it is. Oh god, I think I realized why. It's that culture. Building construction costs, not holding. Aha! That's why. Kushina Havamna. Building holding construction cost in desert and drylands. Oh, that explains it. It's spreading. I got my eye on that. So, Kushina Havamna spreading up there. I mean, there's no way that my work as the steward is what's causing that land to spread up there faster. Unless I'm paranoid again. There we go, exalted among men. At 77 years old, this could be my time soon that I'll be going. Yes, we have a lot in common. Both xenophilics, assimilation of foreign art, and all that. But I practically got the impression that the culture is slowly making its way over here, and it's already entered here. Whereas I'm not giving up on my traditions, despite the fact that we are a lot similar. But you know, I could have gone for that instead of Warriors of the Dry. Wish we'd have both, but that's not It's not something that's doable. As their Yapka, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, but how much obedience without devotion worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? He likes me well enough. I have more important men to impress. Again, if I want to, invest in buildings, that's up to you. Up to all of you in Monkos to improve these temple holdings and city holdings. But look again. Is it really spreading? Because that was not there last time. Not there, not Kucha. That was not there. Am I the one that's promoting the culture? Because I would like to switch that back. Unless that's their doing. I don't know what's going on, but it's making me, rather concerned. I mean, I don't mind if there was going to be a time that I would be converting their culture, but my issue with that is the naming custom. Be using second names instead of Kushinian names. Xenophilic we are, yes, but sometimes it's only because of traditional differences. Like, I'd rather have this than with this, even though that was kind of them. See? There's your difference. My son, I just shot truths. My goodness. This is why I didn't vote for you. Huh? Hold on, what the? 100 techniques of love. She is a wonderful harlot, Sepulveda says with a hearty laugh. Never paid for a better woman to keep me company at night. I'm having a small feast with some courtiers, and a lusty man's recalling an encounter at a brothel went a while back. She said she learned 100 different techniques in the art of love. It was worth every coin. I have her demonstrate one of those techniques on me, but to explain to them in these words. Who knew intimacy could be such a philosophical art? That's what he says. Some of my courtiers listened attentively, fascinated, if not a little too excited. Others look irritated and offended at his remarks. Yet, many just try to awkwardly avoid contact with him as he explains his supposed 100 techniques. Why would I want to be doing that? But I'll skillfully divert the conversation to safer topics. I don't want to be hearing that stuff. City in Turin is finished. They call the cities Rie. Yes. No. Oh yeah, I also would like to build one more city. And this will be the last one for real. Up in the drylands. There, now every... Well, it's not yet of that culture yet. And I was about to say, well then there's... about to say that. So I was about to say, there, every single holding now has a city and a temple. I was replying to somebody. But I'll tell you this: I will end this episode as soon as she passes away. But keep looking at the culture. Is it coming up? Yes, it is. It's spread to there too. Egads. They're encroaching to here. This has to be the work of the steward, which is me. Thanks to my extra skill, I'm probably the one who's, doing that. Because they say, it's like, if you were to promote culture to here locally, it's like, yeah, it'll take you 10 years. Me being very well skilled, it takes a lot less. And, excuse me, what else? He's not into other things. I don't think there is such skills where, where you say you will do it more effectively regarding promoted culture. What's this dynastic legacy for Vijaya? No, not that, you goof. Okay, he has those two, and he's also got kin. Tell the dynasty members get better education traits. No. Right then. Maybe the era of the old Kuchina is coming to an end. By the time the next millennium into the next century, then it'll be all Kuchina Havamna. Not that there's anything wrong with that, to be honest. I mean, hey, at least it costs less to be able to say. So maybe I will manage to build one last city. So that way we could now say, there we go. Now every single frick. Well, I mean, that one's a far outlying area. And yes, I will become August as well. My husband's an architect, just like me. Kashgar actually expanded this way. Well, that's good. It'll be closer to there. You're still keeping the old culture, but it seems that... Hey. That's my grandson we're talking. You don't have a hook on her, so don't bother asking. Quick. Come on. Gotcha! And now I'm August. Never thought I would live long enough for that. And what to do to spend my last remaining few years? The wealth focus. Why not? Just make some money so my son can inherit it. As it's slowly encroaching its way up there. Which I don't know if that's due to my handiwork of being such an excellent steward of my liege. Which I don't know if I'm the one that's promoting that culture, if that's my current task. Or I don't know what's causing it. I mean, we can't tell. Wait, after all, it's just we're open to embracing that. The city is complete down there. Oh, and it came with a guild hall. That's nice. Actually, no, he just started building it. You must have spent a fortune before you took your job. He's in the army. I'm just looking. Like to have that happened before I gone. He's in the army now. Wow. I never thought I would live up to 80. But it's kind of too late to consider taking up a medicine focus now. Instead, just make and accumulate all the wealth that you can, so your son can inherit it, and maybe invest in a few things, you know? Yeah, get this next one. For the sake of our capital. They already converted his religion, but soon they're gonna convert his culture, which they did. Oh, it's finally happened. pka Sari of the Kroran Yavkunye has transcended her material form at 80 years of age. She died of old age in an inveterate diplomat. There was no argument she could not peacefully resolve. And now, Yapko Siddhartha ascends the throne. Unable to tell a lie, many fear that his bluntness may not be fit for the delicate intricacies of politics, as he's 36 years old. And Yapka Sari, she was exalted among men, she was a religious icon, she was an architect on August, and she fought in 6 wars, mainly against her sisters. And now Yapko Siddhartha takes over, in which now there's only one city that is, 2 cities that were currently under construction. All those cities and temples she has built is gonna be her lasting legacy. And now we will say that, yes, my wife lives over there, and these are my children, so depending on skills, I will cast my vote on that for now. Really? My cousin is mayor? I didn't know that. But some will skills, based on who's most qualified. Never had children. Wrong dynasty. Relevance, dummy. So I'm looking for skills. I'll vote for this one, but this is just to retain the culture of ours. So I will be the one to raise him. Will not convert. Is terrified of me for sending a child to foreign court, you dummy. Know your pronunciations. And plus, my wife is terrified of me, so she'll be willing to just do what as I say. But that is my son, and is my family, and my heir. And it should be kept well in mind that we also have the Epconia of Arśi, which is also, it's not an elective. Oh boy. What have you done? Yeah, bring my children back over here. So in other words, I'll have the custody to these children. Thank you very much. And who's that? You know, all these children are going to be coming back home immediately. Well, would you look at that? Already August. Nearly. That's his thing. Apparently. It will help his prestige in the long run, and this is all the money that was accumulated before she passed on. And that means I can have secondary spouses, so I can name a new primary spouse, replacing her, because I'm looking for more talented people. As I said, I'll get to have the custody of the children, and I'm going to raise them along with my guardians, so we can stay Kuchini and Theravada. Yeah. That's just my idea here. So we'll get everything settled, and we'll also reinforce relations with Silk Road communities. All that and more in this upcoming episode, as we will go through the 990s and into the next century, which is a new century for our culture, or whatever is left of it, as we're being encroached by the Kuchina Havamna culture. This does not warrant an independence war or any of those attempts, because we do not want to do that, because they have a strong military, and they also have a lot of very good allies. We would stand very little chance of that happening. But you only have one ally, and that's Kashka. So, creating an independence faction or a dissolution faction would sound like a very bad idea on anybody's book. But we do sort of almost surround them in a way, based on how it looks here. Because Kashka got this way and all that. And I'm sure they invest in these defenses very well. Actually, not as much as you think it would. I mean, after all, they want to be like us, but they speak a different language and use different naming customs. Well, we're still people of the Silk Road. So we got a lot of work to do in the next episode. So our future is uncertain for the survival of our original Kuchina culture, as we're being encroached by the Krishna Havamna, which is a hybrid culture of us and the Havamna there. And I would rather maintain the characteristics of us here. In 14 months we will get Vanus, and it would be wise to have the next fascination be hereditary rule, which would take it an eternity and a half to do so. 8 years though. You know what, I think you could start that right now. You know, just to get to work on that. It'll take 41 years before we can finally enact partition law, unless you can improve upon that. And I'm sure there's many more work to be done in the next episode. So again, now we are part of an uncertain future. Who knows what it'll be like, but let's just hope for only the best. But till the next one, so long for now.